I was lost in Detroit, Michigan. Trigger warning, I got kinda wasted and had an argument with my boyfriend and he made me leave. I had no phone and I was pissed, so I just started walking. I was hoping to get someplace a person might let me use their phone to call my dad. After walking for a while, I happened across an old man who I planned on just passing by, but he stopped me and asked me where I was going. I told him I was looking for a phone to call my dad and he said he had one back at his house. So unfortunately, I took his offer and we went to his house. He offered me some beer and me being an alcoholic at the time, I was like, hell yeah. Then he told me his phone was out of service, but in the morning he could pay his phone bill and it would be best for me to stay the night because it wouldn't be safe for me to be walking around at night by myself. And so I did. He had no furniture in his entire house but a fridge, a small bed, and bedside table with a lamp. At this point, I felt much more intoxicated and tired, so I was ready for a nap. He told me I could just sleep in his bed. So I laid down and then he laid down next to me and I was like, oh, I can just sleep on the floor then, haha. But he insisted I just sleep in the bed. I joked and said, you're not gonna hurt me, right? Haha. And he responded, well, no, not hurt, ha ha ha. He had a stupid laugh. I'm a pastor, I wouldn't do that. So I was sketched out, but I was so tired I couldn't keep my eyes open any longer and fell asleep. When I woke up, my pants were down. I had some hazy memories of seeing him on top of me while I was unconscious. Immediately, I knew what happened and I was pissed. I yelled at him and said I thought you weren't going to hurt me. He had this look on his face I'll never forget, like he was about to do something horrible to me. I started running for the back door and I heard him running after me. I turned to look at him for a second, then I just remember seeing black. I woke up in a pool of blood on the kitchen floor. My teeth were busted into my lip and I was cut somewhere, but I couldn't tell exactly where at the moment. I started begging him to help me or call an ambulance, not recalling or realizing what he just did to me. He just sat there and smiled at me. I got up and ran for the back door in the kitchen, but he caught me and was holding me back. I was hanging on to the door handle and started banging on the door and crying for help, hoping his neighbors would hear me. But he pulled me off and I flung back into the bathroom door, which must have knocked me out. I woke up in his bed and he was sleeping beside me. I immediately got up and ran for the back door again, and this time I wouldn't dare to look back. I got away this time and somehow made my way back to my boyfriend's. He found me screaming and covered in blood at 5 a.m., then took me to the ER. My older cousin ended up finding this guy and he let him into his home. It was just as I described it and he found my blood everywhere.